Hey guys, welcome back to Real Life with Mike, and today I'm going to try doing an intro on how to network my two Garmins together. Now, with that being said, I have never done this before. I actually have all the wiring set up right now. It's kind of temporarily put in, but I haven't actually played with it yet. So you're going to be the first eyes on me hooking this all up and kind of trying to network them together by myself here. So what I'm dealing with is the Garmin EcoMap. I think it's a Garmin EcoMap UHD 75 SV and the Garmin EcoMap Ultra 102 SV. Of course, the only real difference is going to be the size. The Ultra does come with a whole bunch of extra stuff, but I'm definitely going to get into a little bit more with that as well. Now, I personally really like Garmin. I've had them right from the start, even all the way down from the little Striker. Striker 4 was the first one I had, and I have to admit that little Striker 4 for like 150 or 180 bucks is worth it. By far one of the best finders. I mean, I've had people with some pretty high-end units look at it and be like, for that price, it actually is pretty detailed, works really well. So I ended up upgrading to the Garmin EcoMap Ultra. Wow, these are going to be a lot of words. Garmin EcoMap UHD 75 SV. Which I used all last year for ice fishing and everything else with that. I also have the, I end up getting the live scope with it as well. Now the 75 is awesome. I absolutely love the 75, but the screen is pretty small. And especially when it was with me and my wife, if we were either ice fishing, we had the little screen across the tent to look at, as well as in the boat right now. I just had the screen at the back. She didn't really have anything to kind of look for herself. So we kind of talked it over and decided to go with a bigger unit, which is going to be the Garmin EcoMap Ultra 102 SV. I guess with that being said, Garmin in general, I love them. I love their mapping that they came with. It's super detailed. Pretty much everything I've done, especially with live scope, I can't say anything bad about Garmin except for one thing. The Garmin EcoMap Ultra 102 does not actually come with a map. Like, you have mapping and stuff, but it's a baseline map. There's really no contours or anything to it, which is, I find, is absolutely probably the, sorry, windy, probably the stupidest thing the Garmin could have done. First of all, Garmin is known for mapping. Second of all, that's what they do. They do GPS, they do Garmins, or do mapping. Now, when you name a unit Garmin EcoMap Ultra, you would assume it comes with something. So now, because I've kind of explained it that way, there is one really good thing. I do have an upgraded map for my 75, and apparently when you network them together, both will read off of each other. So even though this doesn't have a map, and that the 102 doesn't have a map, the 75 won't have the live scope hooked up anymore to it. I'm going to have everything hooked up to my 102. The 75 will actually read the live scope. The 102 will actually read all the updating map off the 75. So it's kind of confusing. If hopefully all that makes sense. But basically what they're doing is taking both of the units, combining absolutely everything into a network, and then splitting it between two different screens. Now, from what I've heard, you can actually, let's say if the front 75 wanted to look at the regular transducer, it can change to settings with that. If my 102 wanted to look at live scope, it could change that. When I first looked at it, I thought everything is mirrored. So the 102, if I'm changing the settings and everything else, you're just going to see everything on the front screen. Apparently that's not the case, and that's why I'm making this video, is to kind of give a little bit more breakdown on how everything actually works, a little bit more real time of what's happening. Now, you're gonna have to bear with me with this video, because like I said, the minute I turn these on is gonna be the minute I find everything out the same as you are. So it's gonna be a little bit of an interesting ride. Don't mind my messy wiring right now, of course, because everything's just kind of roughly put in here. That's where it's going to be a little messy, so bear with me with that. All of that is going to get cleaned up in the future. So I'm going to get everything all powered up, get the batteries all powered up here. We're going to come back and we're going to turn these on for the first time. All right, so now we have even more of a mess here of wiring because I have my live scope hooked up. Of course, I'm just gonna flip on the live scope there. Make sure the status light starts going. Status light is on. Now, I'm not sure if it takes a long time for it to read it or if I have to restart my unit. So I'm gonna let it sit like this for a little bit, see if it's gonna pick up the unit just by itself. I have heard a couple things. If it's flashing green, usually it's okay. But like I said, sometimes it does take a little bit for it to set up onto the screens itself. So it looks like the front one now has the Panoptix logo, and oh, there we go. This one now has a Panoptix logo. So if I click here, oops. Of course, I probably won't be able to get a reading on it because it's not plugged in. So as you can see, I do have the Panoptix here. I'll go up to the front. I can change the Panoptix there. That one, of course, has the blue screen because that was my settings that I had at last time. So with that being said, I mean, it looks like, let's sit in the middle here, both units can run live scope at the exact same time. And if I do change, here, I'll keep this on here. I'm going to change this other one here to the transducer, or to just the regular sonar. There we go. So right now I have that one at Panoptix, this one at sonar, and they're all reading individually. Of course, this is all messed up because, well, there's not the water. I can go from there, go to clear view. It's all going to be messed up because that's not on there. Sorry, back into live scope here. All right, guys, well, everything's all hooked up and it looks like it's operating correctly. Everything's reading the exact same way. It's not mirroring or anything like that as well. You can actually use the 75, all of its components and everything by itself, in separation with the 102. So if I want to do a different setting here and have a different setting up there, you can completely do that. So that is really, really cool. I gotta give hats off to Garmin for being able to do that and making it so easy. I thought for sure I was gonna have to go in through all these settings and change that, or change network settings, or do something else with that, but it's literally just plug and play. Now, like I said, the only thumbs down for that is the fact that the 102 doesn't come with mapping. So if you look here, of course, that's the little SD slots there. That's where you're going to put your card for your mapping. The 75 only has one single slot, and that one didn't actually need it because it comes with a built-in one. This one only comes with a baseline. So if you're looking at saving yourself a couple bucks by getting the 102 compared to the 106, which I believe I'd have to do some research, and I definitely want you guys to do research. The 106, I believe, does come with the Lakeview map built in. When you're looking at the price comparables, if you get the 102 and a map separately, it's the exact same price as the 106. At least out here in Manitoba it was. So just make sure you do a lot of research. Make sure you know what you're doing when you're looking for it. Ask your local dealers. I went to Lake of the Woods Sports headquarters out here in Winnipeg, and they're phenomenal help. They helped me with all my battery choices and my setup choices here. So other than that, like I said, I'm super happy the fact that everything can be controlled individually. I have a screen up on front, I have a screen here, and it's actually really nice. I didn't think about it before, but now that the way I have it set up, because I can see that map or the screen up on front, when I'm driving my boat, I don't have to continually look at this for my depths and stuff like that. I can actually look forward, glance down at my mapping, and just make sure that one is on my transducer, because I don't like to have the live scope in the water when I'm driving. Of course, it's just like a in and out when I'm trolling, if anything else. So this is not only just going to help the fact that whoever is in my passenger has their own view to do either transducer or live scope. Unfortunately, they won't have control of the live scope. That is going to be for me. So with that, at least I can have everything on both units. And I know I'm rambling about probably the same things, but I'm just I'm super excited to get on the water. And if it wasn't so windy and crappy out today, I definitely would head out. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope any of this stuff makes sense at all. If you have any questions or comments, please put it in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. It makes it really easy because, of course, if you're subscribed, I can see who you are. If I need to message, I can always message that way as well. So if I had to give one overview of the Garmins in general, I love them. I think the only negative thing is the fact that the bigger screen doesn't come with a detailed contour map. But now that everything's all hooked up, I'm excited to get on the water. They're super durable units, and I guarantee this is going to be a game changer for my fishing experience as well, and my passengers. I mean, now they can actually see what they're looking for, and if they're not on live scope, they can always just change it to the transducer and be able to see it from there as well. So hopefully, like I say, hopefully you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you'd like to. Questions, comments below. Until then, maybe I might pack up and get onto the water, and hopefully we'll see you soon on the water. Wear your life jacket, be safe out there. Till I see you again, keep it real.